Is there more to midlife than just getting through it? Absolutely. Welcome. I'm your host, Debbie Cunningham, jazz artist turned midlife mentor, and I'm here to say to you loud and clear, it's time for your Midlife Crescendo. Well, hey friends, welcome back. I hope you had an amazing Easter weekend. For me, it is always a special time to celebrate my faith in Christ and also a time to connect with family. I hope you were able to be surrounded by your friends and family as well. Okay, last week on the podcast, we talked about 35 possible symptoms that a woman can experience when transitioning through menopause. So if you didn't hear that, go back and listen to it. It was very insightful. Only you can know what is normal for your body. So pay attention to the changes you are experiencing, even in postmenopause, and talk to a doctor, a regular gynecologist, a functional medicine practitioner, or a nurse practitioner are also great resources as well. My point is this. Keep persisting until you get answers that are helpful for your symptoms and your body. Every woman goes through menopause uniquely, and ask God for wisdom to find the care that you need. We all live in different areas of the world, and there are answers for you. You just may have to keep digging to find them. Okay, on today's show, we're actually talking about one of those symptoms, and it's about our hair falling out. And so today I'm going to share a little insight of my own health excavation. So I titled this episode, Why is My Hair Falling Out? If you've noticed more hair in your hairbrush or on the shower floor lately, you are not alone. One of the biggest perimenopause symptoms women experience is hair loss and shedding or thinning of our hair. So why does this happen? Hair thinning or hair loss during perimenopause or menopause is super common, and it's largely due to the hormonal shifts happening, especially the drop in estrogen and progesterone in our body. Now, here's what's going on. Estrogen and progesterone help grow hair, and so these hormones that support hair growth and help keep hair basically in the growth phase longer. When they drop during menopause, the hair shifts quickly into a resting or shedding phase. So less hair growth plus more shedding equals, of course, thinner hair. As estrogen levels dip, androgens or male hormones like testosterone can become more dominant. And in some women, these androgens shrink hair follicles, especially around the crown or temples, leading to a kind of female pattern baldness. And then there are other contributing factors too. Stress, thyroid changes, low iron, or nutritional deficiencies can also play a role. Aging itself affects the hair cycle, making it more fragile and prone to breakage. One of the biggest symptoms of my menopause journey has been this, not just thinning, but hair loss and very unhealthy looking hair. Frankly, it caused sheer panic in me when I first started to notice so much hair in the brush or in the shower. The first thing I did was actually talk to my hairdresser to get some ideas of what he thought it might be. And he recommended changing my shampoo and conditioner so that I was using products that actually helped the health of my scalp. So I did do that, and then I also started taking hair supplements, and all of that actually supported the health of my hair, and immediately I noticed a difference. My hair was less brittle, it looked and felt healthier, huge sigh of relief there, and the hair loss seemed to lessen at the time, but it did not disappear completely. So even though I had seen some improvement in my hair, I still had some shedding, and I wasn't seeing growth. So I decided to ask more questions to get the answers that I needed. And one of my inquiries led me to do a mineral hair analysis. After I got the results of that, I was surprised to find out that I was low in protein, magnesium, and zinc levels in my body, but high in aluminum, copper, and vitamin K. This gave me clues about my adrenals, my stress, mineral imbalances that I wouldn't have known otherwise. The way a hair analysis works is you have to take a very small snippet of the hair at the back nape of the neck, and I sent mine through the mail. And after my hair analysis was completed on their end, a doctor set up a phone call consultation and went over my results with me and made recommended changes and supplements that might help me get better results. We actually eat a very healthy diet, but one of the first things the doctor asked me was what kind of pots and pans was I using? She mentioned if you're using any nonstick cookware, many of those are coated with aluminum, and once the coating is scratched, the aluminum can leach into your food. So be aware of that, ladies, and use stainless steel if possible. I checked all of mine and got rid of any aluminum ones, which I actually had a few. She recommended not using aluminum foil to line my pans or touch food when cooking. I had gotten in the habit of lining my baking sheets with foil for easier cleanup. Okay, I know. That's the lazy girl's way, I guess. But now I line them with parchment paper instead. Also, to not eat lots of canned food, which I don't. So those are some of the changes that I made. Another way we can support healthier hair is to change our diet a bit too. I had no idea I was so low on protein. She recommended I up my protein intake at every meal. And it doesn't matter if it's plant protein or animal protein because I asked her that. Eating a nutrient-rich diet with protein, iron, omega-3s, and biotin is really helpful. Also adding phytoestrogen-rich foods like flax seeds, sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, which is usually what I eat, healthy fats, avocados, walnuts, olive oil. These all help your body balance estrogen levels naturally. And of course, eliminating sugar, wheat, and other inflammatory foods can also help. Magnesium is a very important supplement, and often we don't get enough in the foods that we eat, so we often need a magnesium supplement. However, she reminded me that we can also over supplement, and that affects hair shedding too. So be sure to talk with your doctor or a nutritional specialist about what supplements you are taking and what you might be missing. Just as important, though, she said, was managing my stress. My results indicated high cortisol levels, and managing stress and sleep is also very important to all of us in midlife because it definitely affects maintaining a healthy weight and lifestyle. If you're a regular listener to Midlife Crescendo, you know we've discussed our changing capacity with menopause and midlife and beyond, and the need for greater rest in this season. It doesn't mean you can't live an active life. It just means that in order to stay healthy and active, you can no longer burn the candle at both ends. You must refuel, and that includes getting a good night's sleep, which of course is also under fire in menopause. Now, we're not really talking about sleep today, although we will in future episodes of Midlife Crescendo. But I want to remind you that it's really important for you to get the sleep that you need. If you're not getting a good night's sleep, you need to start talking to your doctor so you can make some changes in order for that to happen. Now, one of the things I did to help my stress level, especially helping me sleep, is using a sound machine. For some reason, I was waking up a lot in the middle of the night, or I would sleep 4 hours and then wake up and not be able to get back to sleep. Using the sound machine for some reason with white noise helps me personally, but for some people it might be something else. But that was just one of the tools that I used. But there are other things we can do to help with our hair health naturally. There are supportive treatments like scalp massage, and you can even do that yourself. Gentler hair routines are really important, so no tight ponytails, less heat and chemical products on your hair, Look, even if you're for highlighting or coloring your hair, try to go longer between those highlights or colorings just to have less chemical products on your hair. And even using a silk pillowcase can help. Now, why silk, you ask? Silk creates less friction than cotton, which helps prevent tangling and hair loss. It also helps retain moisture. I did not know that, especially important during these hormonal shifts that we are having. Okay, and here's the other thing. I know that when your body starts to shift and change, it can be alarming, and losing hair can definitely be alarming. Let me remind you, you're not broken. You're changing. And as we heard in last week's episode, you're not alone. 47 million women transition into menopause every year. You need to be kind to yourself, though, as you go through this process and have courage to uncover what your needs are and the answers for those needs in this season. Here's the thing, ladies. In midlife, as you're going through menopause, it's vital that you take steps to take care of you. I know for years and years, women have been programmed to care for everyone else but themselves. But what happens is you hit midlife, and that can no longer be a priority. You have to basically put the oxygen mask on yourself in order to be able to help the rest of the people in your life. So I want you to take this seriously. Be kind to yourself as you go through this process and uncover the needs that you have. I love this verse from the Bible in Isaiah. It's Isaiah 46:4, and it says, "Even to your old age and gray hairs, I am He. I am He who will sustain you. I have made you, and I will carry you. I will sustain you, and I will rescue you." This is such a beautiful picture of God's steady presence and sustaining grace as our bodies change and age, perfect for midlife and beyond. We may be shedding a little hair, but hopefully we are also shedding what no longer serves us. Okay, as we wrap up this discussion, I want to remind you that the hair analysis really helped me discover where I had deficits that were affecting the health of my hair. Those required some action. So maybe a hair analysis could help you too. I definitely recommend it. If you'd like $20 off to try the Nutrafol vitamins and shampoo I use, I actually have a link for you to receive that $20 off, and I'll post that in the show notes, or you can reach out to me by email, debbie@debbiecunningham.net, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have as best I can. Now that I've made some of these changes, I'm happy to report I am starting to see some new growth in my hair. So that's exciting. And while you are there, you can also order a mineral hair analysis. Now, the $20 off only applies to their products of shampoo and conditioner and vitamins, but you can order the hair analysis there if you want to use it to help assess if there's anything additional you may need to get your hair healthy and growing again. I hope you found this week's episode encouraging and that you found some insight from my own personal journey through hair loss. I want to encourage you because I know that all the changes we face in this midlife season can be difficult, and sometimes we just need to hear what other people are experiencing so that we don't feel so alone. A new episode drops each Monday, so be sure to subscribe wherever you listen so you don't miss a thing. And if you enjoy Midlife Crescendo, it would help me so much if you would leave a review wherever you listen so other women just like you can find the podcast and get the encouragement and inspiration they need for their midlife season and beyond. Ladies, summer is coming. Please send me your questions and topics you'd like to hear on Midlife Crescendo this summer. Just go to midlifecrescendo.com and click on the pink button that says Submit a Question or Topic Recommendation. Thanks for tuning in today, and remember, midlife is just a brand new season to find your passion and purpose for your grand finale. Talk next week.